Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm your host today and every day, every weekday morning. My name is Jason Carey, and I have a channel here on YouTube called Jason Carey Guitar, which I love. I love to just be here sharing guitar goodness with you. And oh, let's take a look. Let's get the hat on straight. And I'm a little bit early this morning. I just checked it a little bit early. And so good morning. Good morning to you. See if we can get in the zipper pocket and find our trusty guitar tuner, which we can. Find our trusty guitar picks, which we can and did, which I will place on the stool next to me for my benefit. Oh, the likes are already rolling in. How are we doing? Robbie Smith, you are the first this morning. Kevin, you beat Kevin. That's amazing. Like, that's never happened before. We've got a new face, Robbie Smith. So if you guys are up for it, let's go ahead and share with Mr. Smith a kind welcome. Good morning to you, friend. And oh, how is everybody doing this morning? Very exciting times, very exciting times. We're closing out week number 1 of Electric Week here on Jason, and here in the live stream or whatever. So we are talking about breath this morning. You can see I've got a little too much caffeine rolling already, so I've got to really work on dialing in my breath. Didn't eat. I usually fast for this project, so I will be fasting every morning, every weekday morning from 7:30 a.m. to Eastern Standard Time for about an hour. And I'm going to try to keep ourselves punctual and observant of our time, because I don't want to squander your very precious time. And if you're spending the seat time here, a couple of announcements. I'm very, very grateful for any amount of time you're spending on yourself with me, with all of us here on this live stream. It's just a remarkable thing. A lot of us are doing some great things already, and it's just a remarkable period in time, and 2020 is off to a banger of a start. So we're almost ready. We're going to complete this week with some breath work, some tuning, and then we're going to work on some chromatic work. We had a little bit of a question yesterday about why I'm still doing, chromatic work 2 weeks into it. 2 weeks ago, someone witnessed me doing the thing in, almost the same thing. And so there's a reason for that. And the reason is that, if it works for Mr. Petrucci, I guess it will work for us. So another thing is I gave us, if you wanted to get started, 2 things. There's on my YouTube community, I know you're here now, but I tried like the dickens, or like the devil, to get this done yesterday. But I got a sheet, a PDF binder with a nice cover on it, and a forward with some instructions, and then there's a page which is a hand-drawn list of chord scale reference charts. All of the patterns we need to complete our 3-note per string pattern. I thought that would be helpful, Kevin. I don't know if I thought you might benefit from that. I thought I benefit from having a visual cue, a visual reference guide to practice over the weekend. So you can get that. I just posted it this morning. We just shared it this morning on the YouTube community page. So you can find it. It's like, I forget what the title is, but it's some, 3-note per string challenge or whatever. So it's very easy to find. It's a download, and it's, here we go with the, okay, we finish up this week. Yesterday we had a record number. We reached another benchmark. Just so we're all in the know what we're able to kind of do together. We reached a benchmark of likes, so we got up to 40 likes, which is big for us. It's a big deal for us, right? So we're seeing new faces come in, and we're just building our guitar fretboard family, guitar army, our guitar army, and I think this is going to be a record year for guitar for some reason. Downward slope on sales for about a decade. Guitar sales worldwide have been just sort of like slipping and sliding downward spiral and slippery slope kind of thing. And maybe this year is a good year for guitar to trend upward and us to learn the manual thing again and the pedal, and have a fervency for a zeal for the things that we do manually. So next week we're going to extend into another electric week for certain. We have a finger picking warm-up week coming. So it's okay, so what I've got going on is we're going to use a trem bar next week. We're using electric guitars next week. I'm sorry, I had a text from my wife come through, and I have to pay attention to that stuff when it's 0-degree weather outside and she's traveling. So we'll work another week with guitar, electric guitar. We have a fingerstyle warm-up coming up probably in a week or two, maybe following that electric week. But I hope everyone's doing well. Good morning. Lots of love. All right, here we go. Here's the tuning fork. Here's the A440. Did I just see someone ask, are you gay? Isn't that like kind of a personal question for a chat like this? I think that's sort of out of place. Maybe you can delete it or I'll delete it. You know, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, please. That kind of stuff is not tolerated. It's like, if I would do I'm just going to review this with you. And so I do a lot of work keeping my grass clean, my grass cut. And what I do is if someone comes along and throws a bag of trash on my front lawn, I'm going to remove it, right? So I do, it's a lot of work to maintain a good culture. So if you would please just not do that kind of thing. If you're making reference to gay as being happy, sure, absolutely. All right. So we have a nice tuning fork going. I think I'm pretty close. We've got A440 on fret number 5. Nice natural harmonic on the A string. So what I'll do is just communicate that reference pitch elsewhere about the guitar as it may demand. And we'll go ahead and too much coffee? What's that? All right. I feel like this guitar is so exacting. And I feel like it's pretty good. I mean, we're pretty close. Good morning, Mr. Tortorello. Good morning, Robbie. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Guitar for Everyone. What's up, Jason? What's up? That's a really good question. I worked all afternoon to get this binder done yesterday, and and another project that we had going, and I just couldn't complete it. And do you ever like start falling asleep and do the same thing like 5 times, and then it just eventually just like, nope, maybe we'll do it tomorrow morning. Get up early and get that thing snapped in tomorrow morning. So I see another new name. So the guitar is giving me a tough time this morning. G4E. Good, I like that. Tom, good morning. Seeing some new faces. Celeste, good morning. Wow, got some new faces. Dan Husband, Mr. Husband, good morning. Too much coffee, that's not a thing. This is the work that novice guitar players don't enjoy doing. I'm looking at, I just saw it before I logged on. This is the work that novice guitar players don't enjoy doing. And I just saw it before I logged on. Yeah, it's interesting. Do you like 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗃? Yeah, I think, sure. Yeah, why not? YouTube keeps suggesting your live videos to me. Figured I'd check it out this morning. Welcome here, Tom. I appreciate it. So most of us, what we're doing now that we're tuned and we're breathing, I'm kind of forcing my breath right now, and I really have to get beyond that point where I'm mentally speeding here. And part of the morning ritual, the morning warm-up for guitar growth that we're cultivating all of us together, this really great and wonderful and awe-inspiring process. What all of us were doing together is we show up with the guitar, and then we're working on those things to get us sort of like ready to practice. So this morning ritual, this is actually a warm-up process, an hour-long warm-up process, so that we can, it's like we're getting our car up to speed to get on the I-95, the I-60, Route 6, or we're just getting on the I-90 or something, and we don't just get on the highway and just go, we'll get smacked, right? So we're just creating this little on-ramp experience where over time we'll gradually we're actually working toward creating our own learning environment, just with breathing, tuning, and being observant of tone through this procedure. And this is one of the benefits that we achieve or we receive from repeating this thing. And I don't know if you're aware of Mr. Scott K. Fish. Just released that interview I've been talking about on his YouTube channel, so check it out, please, and make sure that if you give him some love. He's a rare bird. He's like a national treasure. Like, he deserves a Nobel Prize in literature for the work he's done with with music, with jazz drummers, especially like when Buddy Rich. I mean, it's like, and all of the greats. If you wanted to go see Scott K. Fish, just tell him if you do go see this Shreve's interview, Carlos Santana's drummer. He did a beautiful interview. I worked on the audio a little bit for part 1, and you can take a look. Just give it a listen. Shreve talks about creating a trance situation where as a drummer, it's your job to facilitate that trance, like that continuum, that rhythmic, uninterrupted rhythmic continuum that builds a basis upon which the band can operate freely. So there's some really great discussion in there. It's just amazing that it's even available. And you'll find that it's quite a repository to listen to. So let's go ahead and get started. So yes, I appreciate we are all welcoming the new blood here, and it's wonderful. Nice axes, mate. Yes, thank you very kindly. Cheers, cheers, cheers for that. Don't worry about the silly people, you're the best. All right, VP Records. All right, we've got VP Records on the horn here. Good. Good morning, Marlon. Yeah, Marlon's here. Yes, sir. You're going to need to mod it if people keep being inappropriate. Yeah, we'll just kind of hopefully a friend of mine I was talking about this with a guy, the old station manager from MIT, WMBR. He's a good friend. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. They'll moderate themselves. You'll have your community will moderate themselves. And it's like, he's smarter than me. Trust me, a 9-bot would sound good on that. Oh, nice. All right. Give us a link. Surround yourself with good people, brother. Absolutely. James, can you play Stairway to Heaven while pretending to be Garth from Wayne's World? Yeah, that's a good one. Wayne's World. Can you play blues and tune? All right, mostly crazy. Morning, Teach. Have a great weekend. I got to wrangle my daughter up and get her off to school this morning. Yikes, the single dad life is rough. You know, it's the fight that is worth the fight, though. It's the one thing that's worth doing. You know, is to support the next generations, the future generations, especially if they're your own progeny. Amen, brother. Do the good work. Keep doing the good work. All right, we're getting right into it. Tune the guitar, lizard lips. All right, Matt, welcome to the show. And oh yeah, hit that like button, everyone. Joe Mack, you do saxophone. I've been playing for. Do you like sax? Yeah, sax is great. This is one. This one piece is real. Can you sing Destination by Crash Adams? Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to get started right now. Okay. Here we go. Let's take a look. We're starting with fingers 3 and 4, and we're using 4 attacks per beat, so 60 beats per minute. We've got the metronome, Mr. Metronome, saying, here is thou shalt play 60. And what we're doing is we're subdividing that into 4 beats, 4 attacks per that beat. So 1 E and 2 E and T E and go. So fingers 3 and 4, it's the usual. 11 and 12 was starting with fingers 3 and 4. And we'll go right through this process. We'll ascend and then descend. And if this is too fast for you, you could watch it and just absorb. If you're just dialing in, just tuning in, please stay and watch this process happen. And then you can go back and watch it again once it posts in half the speed and keep up with it, or play it at your own speeds. But these are great exercises and will soon become familiar to you. And we all do these together in the morning. So 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do, E and a. You can always tell when we start practicing how many players are actually playing because everything goes quiet. It's like you have that big bowl of company, you know, you have that family dinner. You've got 20 people around the old moose head table. You got all of the leaves, the extra leaves. You've got the kid tables set up, and then once you say grace and you start eating, the conversation just stops. And that's when you know you've done a good job preparing that moment, that food, and because you know it's so quiet, you know it's good, right? So here's fingers 2 and 3, and here's the fingers 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do, E and a. I love hearing the requests. We pay attention to those requests. We absorb all of those requests, and all of those go into a list. And that helps to inform our path forward. And then whether I can play, whether we get to those songs during this warm-up cycle, it's, you know, sometimes sometimes we do, occasionally we do, and today might be the day. It's a Friday, you never know. Thunderstruck? Oh man. Yuri edits. Yeah, hey Yuri, good morning. Good to have the health checks. But yeah, you know, just try to you know, if I always think about this, if I think it doesn't mean I have to say it. But if it's a, you know, legitimate public health concern, you know, maybe 1 E and a 2 fingers 1 and 2, 3 E and a go, E and 11 and 12. So there is a link in the YouTube community section of my channel. There's a post where we've been working these 3-note per string patterns. So what I've done is we went ahead and developed a PDF binder. So if you wanted to learn all of those shapes and follow along in real time, those are going to become a steady part of our morning ritual diet. And those are going to just exponentially grow our capabilities to engage in legato style playing and all of those other things that come along with it, like 2-hand tapping, 3-hand, 3-finger tapping, 8-finger tap, whatever. All of that stuff is ripe for the picking. So it's a 3-note per string guitar challenge. Let's do fingers 2 and 4, 3 and 4, pardon me, on frets 10 and 12. This is another usual. We'll kick this back into position number 8. It seems like it's position number 8, so we should start with position number 9. Let's do that. We'll start in position number 9 with all 4 fingers. Each finger covers a new fret, bright, shiny new fret, and then we extend 4th finger up 1 fret. And so what we do is we have a 4th finger stretch here. We'll remove fingers 1 and 2. We'll keep fingers 3 and 4. And if you're without a guitar today, you can always use your thumb as a fretboard. Okay, and then that's a good practice. And then we can, still get the finger movements in, and we can still practice the things with the guitar, this being the fretboard. So fingers 2 and 4, 3 and 4, and frets 11 and 13. 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do. I feel like when there's no delay, there's no reverb really to speak of on the guitar, on the amp. I mean, it's just sort of, you're operating without a net. And my wife would be happy that the net's nowhere around today. No, but the without a net is just, I'm really forced to consider my tone production. So am I studying palm mute as well during this sequence? Probably a good idea. Varying degrees of palm mute and almost get out there so it's like choking, because when you apply like a slapback delay to this kind of tone, it's a really wonderful experience. Just nice short tones. They're jumping right off the guitar. They're so alive. Same thing, 2 middle fingers, frets 11 and 13. 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do. And, Mango, the tuxedo cat. Hey again, how you doing? Yuri edits. Very nice to see you again, Yuri. I would love to hear what you could do with E, C, D, G progression. Jason, I will check out the 3 strings for sure. Yeah, you're gonna love it. And it's one of those things that it's just it's like this, we want to, don't forget to breathe. Same thing. Now let's go back to fingers 1 and 2. And here we go. 1 and 2, stretch, doing the old stretchy. Position, we'll call it 11 because the first finger is the position indicator. Could be also position 12 with a layback on, a stretch. Maybe we call it position 12. So this makes sense, but with a first finger stretch. But we're not using fingers 3 and 4 at all. Can we move fingers 3 and 4 while we have these 2 fingers fretted? Can we move just the 3rd finger while we have all of the other notes fretted? Can we move the 4th finger while we have the other notes fretted? Can we keep the 3rd finger up here and still while we move the 4th finger? That's a little bit challenging. 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do. E and a. I'm just so happy to be here playing the guitar. It's hard to explain how joyful an event this is for me personally. It's just, and I hope you can hear it in my guitar tone. I hope you can hear the celebration that is happening in my mind. It's just such a good thing for the soul. It's kind of like, the skateboarding and like, that freedom that Mr. Rodney Mullen found. just sitting around with this skinny stick and some wheels on the flat, you know, just kind of getting the flat. And who would ever have seen a guy like him coming down the road, you know? Genius finds itself in so many different places in the human story, doesn't it? Not that this is a genius move, but it is a move for sure. Let's go ahead and continue with the two-finger movement. The two-finger movement. We'll start on position number 9. We'll use frets 9 and 12, fingers 2 and 4. This gives us a little bit of a stretch. If we're playing positionally, typically we would be locked into, you know, we're locked into like 1 finger per fret. Now what we're doing is we're just giving that finger 2 and 4 a stretch, right? Run for their money. So let's start on fret 10 and 13. Let's do that instead. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 E and If you're just tuning in, this is our morning ritual for guitar growth. This happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're just tuning in, I would recommend you stay. Just kind of hang out, see what's going on. You might decide that you want to join us. We're all here with guitars practicing in our own, practicing alone together. And all around the world. And the live chat usually is just such a banger of an experience. So what we're doing is we're improving the self, we're improving our guitar work, we're improving our breath work, we're improving our family life work, community work, all of that stuff. If you're preparing to get on the road, these are great things to do while you're on the bus or in the van. Keep the guitar while you're passengering in the band. And then fingers 1 and 3 would do the same thing. We're using frets 10 and 13. 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do. And we're closing the gap on our time to get stretching. I know I talked a lot at the beginning of this session, and so that's why I wanted to motor through some of this stuff, but it's hard to motor, you know you want to get it done, but the rushing thing is just not going to, it's almost better just to, focus on the breath for me, and then try to remember why it is I'm doing this every day, and to try to breeze through something. If I allow myself to breeze through something one time, I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. So like, for example, if I let myself yawn in public, as a young man, there was an Armenian man that saw me yawn in front of his person one morning, and this is a good place to stretch. And he said, Jason, if you yawn now, if you allow yourself to do that now, you'll end up doing that for the rest of your life, and you won't even be aware of it. And so, fortunately, for me, I internalize some of those. I try not to take those things personally, but use them as universal, simple, universal, advice. And it turns out, like if I allow myself to breeze through the guitar, the work that I'm doing on the guitar, the time that I spend on the guitar doing the work, if I breeze through it, then I don't really get the benefit of doing it. So what's the point of doing it, right? Now is a great time to ask questions too, because I am doing a stretch for another 30 seconds or so. And Glitch Orange. I'm staying. Could have used your tips when I first started guitar. Excellent advice so far. CJ, thank you very much for being here. I'm just tripping out to the old Jeep model CJs when I know it's probably nothing to do with your name, but I love the old CJ7s, Glitch Orange, can you help me find new chords? Absolutely. One of the reasons why I'm here is to extend my reach and stretch my fingers for a series. I'm working through a series on this channel here at Jason Carey Guitar. It's called Ted Green's Chord Chemistry. And if you want if you want to jump off the deep end, if you want to jump off the diving board into the deep end of the pool, I would recommend you check out, go back to my channel, look for the playlists, and search for Ted Green. It's Green with an E at the end of his name, so Greene, or chord chemistry. And some of those chords are very, very challenging for me, and I'm okay with admitting that. It's a static approach to the book where we are basically going word by word, page by page, chord by chord, just so we all have a recorded model, sort of like a guide to get us through. And it's not like there's a sign hanging over the entrance of the book saying "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." It's about picking up hope and expanding our guitars by several, our guitar abilities by several orders of magnitude later. It's just, you'll find your own way through it, but I thought it's such a heavy book. It's really easy, this chord chemistry book, it's really easy to pick it up, get a few pages in and put it down and never come back to it, right? And if you haven't been to visit tedgreen.com, Ted, TEDGREENE.com, you are missing out. It's just a huge resource. It's an unbelievable resource of this man's life's work. And good morning, curious Ms. Kitten. How are you this morning? Great to see you here. I know sometimes it's challenging to get to a certain point at a certain time, and we're really happy to have you here. You just walked in on the stretch. I've been playing 32 years and can still use his tips. Absolutely. What would you do if Dave Matthews asked you to join Megadeth? These are really interesting questions. Dave Mustaine, okay, Dave Mustaine asked you to join Megadeth. I don't feel tardy. No, you shouldn't. You arrived like Pooh says, you arrived just when you were supposed to. So fingers 1, 2, we're doing 2, 3, and 4 in position number 9 on frets 10, 11, and 12. And we're just taking a quick stroll. And yesterday, here, we reached a benchmark. It's really important for me to share this because I'm so excited we're able to do it. Our previous benchmark was 20 likes per episode per stream, and we reached 40 yesterday. So the likes are really, really happening and really appreciated. So wanted to just mention that. Fingers 2, 3, and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a bow E and a. What I'm trying to do is dynamically assert the downbeat. And it's so much easier to do with my eyes closed. Ooh, I've got some tension in my hips and my back, and I need to just be aware of that so I can fix it. The late great Tom Hoffman was sharing with me, if you're tense, if there's tension anywhere in your body and you need to play a passage that's quick and need some attention, having that tension in your body will prohibit your ability to play it up to speed, up to tempo. That's what he says anyway. So I'm working on let me just get back to where I need to be. Before we start, we're going to go ahead and do this 1, 2, 3, frets 10, 11, and 12. 1, 2, 3, and ready, and go E. And, drummer, this reminds me of a drummer friend of mine. He's passed away now, but he's a really great drummer. And he always used to say that, because he'd sit there and he'd play like 11 over, you know, he'd play all these polyrhythms and just really complicated, seamless, buttery rolls, and his technique was just second to none, really. But he would sit there and his head would never move. Even when he was swinging as hard as, you know, as hard as a human could swing, he'd never just like move his head. And he'd just sit there and he'd turn his head once in a while just to not get workplace injury. And he'd turn his head back around, but he was all the while just doing dang, 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 bang, and it's just all over the place. But he would just like, so I asked him one afternoon, I'm like, Steve, what's up with this? Finger 4, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fret 9, position 9, and we'll start 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4 E, okay? Let's do that. 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do. And so he said, music is an internal process, and if I feel the pulse, do all of the exercises I need to do to get the pulse in my body, I don't need to move to feel the music. I can feel it in my cardiovascular system. I'm thinking, whoa. I'm thinking to myself, this guy is on a different planet. And, you know, he was at a, you know, just so high level that just kind of wonder, you know, if I'm even speaking the same English language as, you know, he is or was. But it was an elevated, you know, the thing about that musical language is it's another language to develop, similar to, you know, our native tongues. And it requires all of that nurturing, all of that attention, all of that immersion that we would otherwise, you know, miss out on if we weren't learning a, you know, guitar. You know, I speak English as my second language because, you know, I feel like sometimes my guitar is my primary language, you know. I'm not really sure if that's a truism or not, but it kind of feels like it could be at least romantically accurate. Good. How we doing? Any questions at all? Anything going on that you want to talk about real quick? I'm going to take a quick sip of the whatever's in this cup. And it's not air. There's some probably air some molecules in there, but let's see if it will balance on the foot of this chair here. Oh, much easier. Very nice. Are we still breathing? You still alive out there? Let's do the same thing, but let's go ahead and grab that fourth finger stretch. And this time we'll put the click on 2 and 4. Or 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a button down. I want to jump back to that question about if Mr. Mustaine asked me to join Megadeth. I think the knee-jerk reaction would be, sure. And then, you know, if that was actually the reality setting in, it would be a much different approach. Because it would stop, you know, all of those choices would stop certain things certain behavioral patterns in my life, and then start new behavioral patterns in my life. And then you have to, and I don't know, if you're anything like me, it takes me a little bit of time to decide the thing that I'm going to do next, because how is this new pattern or habit or ritual or routine going to impact my life? And then I have to think about all of the other people around me, because that's just what we do as good people, you know, aspiring to be good people anyway. So we want to keep that fourth finger from, on the descending pattern especially, keep that fourth finger from coming way out here and then completely unzipping, right? We'll try to keep it close to the fretboard. So back on position 7, ascend, 1 and a 2 and a T, E and a 𝗶, E and a. Now that sounds like Looney Tunes. Yeah, right on. Hello guys, I'm a beginner and I wanted a little bit of help. What exercises can I do to keep my fingers near the fretboard? Thank you, people. 𝗪𝗫𝗫𝗁𝗪𝗫𝗁𝗪𝗫𝗁𝗪𝗫𝗁𝗪𝗫𝗁𝗪𝗫. Thank you for the question. Thank you for commenting, you know. All right, so let's go ahead and, because we have access to upper registers on this instrument, let's go ahead and make use of that. So we'll start again on position 12 and ascend. 1 E and a 2 E and a T, E and a 4 E and a. Curious followed up with, I don't really know any scales yet. What's the first one I should learn? Lance, copy what this guy is doing. Just use proper technique by playing on the very tips of your fingers. I like that response. That's a reasonable response. Similar to a response that I would generate, you know. CJ, I love how deep and positive this is. Sub. Oh, thank you so much for subbing. You know, and then that's about the reach that I got. I wanted to let you know that I was mindlessly doing this. The guitar barked at me and let me know my thumb needs to come out and play now, okay? So right about here for me, when I reach position number 17, thumb has to come out from behind the guitar and my posture changes, okay? My hand posture, my fretting hand posture changes. Just a mental note, just to reference, like when we do get up to that point, because we will get up to those places on the guitar, and we don't want to go, ah, the world's falling apart, you know, we want to have a plan when it does start to do that. And one of those, part of that plan is to be sure to smash that like button. Ready? 1 E and a 2 E and a T, E and a 4 E and a 17. Fourth finger stretch. I have one more position I can reach cleanly, in a clean manner. And then we're descending back to the place from whence we came, which was position 9. So this exercise is going to be a little longer, but that's okay. If I was to remain mindful and really responsible about this, I should have slowed this tempo down and played 2 attacks per beat instead of 4 attacks per beat. So you're witnessing something that shouldn't be really occurring. So when I go up into that position with a thumb hanging out, it's not like a comfort zone kind of place for me. So that wouldn't be another indicator that I was sort of like acting irresponsible. And those little things, those little reminders are there in all parts of our lives, and we have the capacity to make decisions to correct them early on. Otherwise, they become, you know, they snowball into the wild, and then there's no hope for, you know. We want to remain hopeful. All right, so same thing. This time we're kicking that first finger back. We'll talk a little bit about scales. Anyone else have some ideas about scales? I like to use the A major or the musical alphabet. I like to begin with the musical alphabet. Anyone know how to spell the musical alphabet? All right, position 9, kicking that first finger back to 8. 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do, E and a. It'd be really cool if we could get up to 40 likes today. I'm just saying, it's, you know, it's small. It's one of my objectives for the day. But instead, I would rather spend my time prompting you to just stay engaged with what we're doing and be careful and mindful about this process, rather than sell you on a like button. But another thing that would be helpful, though, I know if you have guitar player friends who are interested in bettering themselves through this remainder of this whole year, we are here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time doing this live stream. It's basically the We Are the World of the fretboard family. Do you know what I mean? It's the We Are the World. We're all here from all over the place. We're looking to, you know, seeking to make positive change. It begins with our own person, but then as a collection, at the end of this year, 2025, this live chat is banging. And I'm assuming that this live chat is going to breed new, long-lasting friendships, acquaintances, partnerships even, musical partnerships maybe. Let's go ahead up the string set. You're going to see me start to pay attention to, you know, changing the angle of my guitar. I'm really focusing on tone here too, you know. I'm trying to get a nice even tone. Super important to me. If I can't get a good tone at a slow speed, you know, I can't get a good tone at a fast speed. That was really nice of Mostly Crazy all the time to stop in and say hi today. So one of our live chat members here, Mr. Tony Anthony Tortorello, is in a band called Denim Dennis. I guess they, from what I understand, they've got a date set for February, is that correct? These exercises are designed to do to give us, like, a lot of guitar players, a lot of us will choose to use compression to sort of like steamroll out and level out our level, our sound pressure level, our dynamic range. But as a guitar player, you can get a very transparent sound and a really nicely controlled sound without the use of compression. If if we just work carefully on our pick hand and our pick hand versus fretboard hand relationships. Oh, we're at 27 likes, so that's great. We're getting closer and closer to 40 all the time. I think we were at 40 yesterday when we knocked off. Hey, let's do a quick stretch, if you don't mind. We're approaching the 3-note per string exercise. Today we're going to do another one of the Steve Vai exercises before we get into the 3-note per string stuff. And so that's going to happen, you know, roughly in 60 seconds from now, and then we're jumping immediately into the 3-note per string exercises. You can find a downloadable binder on my on the YouTube community page here at Jason Carey Guitar. There's a little bit of a message there and a link. It's a 3-note per string challenge, and you can go and grab that binder if you like. If you don't need it, then we're going to keep doing this like we've been doing the 3-note per string exercise our whole lives, and it will gradually become part of you anyway. So if you stick around and you're here, you can likely just learn it anyway. So I always like to have that visual cue. There are some additional instructions that are written in black and white, and a thank you message at the end of the binder, though it's specifically for you, and it's enjoyable. I think it's a nice thing to have a reference copy of the scales. on hand. So, all right, so I missed a couple of things here. 𝗪𝗿𝗄𝗃, oh, your guitar is so gorgeous. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I thought the same thing when I walked into the music store that's no longer existing. I saw it. It was like the price tag on it was insane, and I was just teaching there. I had to I wasn't teaching there. I was teaching at another music shop, one of the program that I had started actually, and I really wanted the guitar. The owner of the shop knew who I was, and I'm like, geez, Dale, I can't fork over that kind of cash right at the moment, but I really want the guitar. He let me take the guitar and pay it, it's like a layaway, but he let me pay for it over time while I kept the guitar in my custody, right? I was playing it and doing the thing with it, and it was just so generous, like totally risky thing to do, as a businessman. But that's the music industry, the music business I grew up in, and it was loaded with just so many wonderful, wonderful people looking to pay it forward. All right. Sorry for, let's see. So it's important to be sure your wrist is straight too. Oh, good. If you don't, you will develop careless tunnel. That's a great way to look at it. I used to think like workplace injury doesn't exist. We're talking about guitar, dude. Workplace injury has nothing to do with it, but it does. Let's take a look at fingers 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, you notice from here, from the elbow to the over, right to this bend right here, all of that's a straight angle. This can move around, within reason, but as soon as I start doing this and playing like this, I'm really asking for trouble. So the straight wrist is really important, and you raise a great point, and those things need to be said, and irregardless of, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I mean, I've done work with some, I've done enough work. I've lived long enough to know that when someone tells you something's awesomely bad, it's just like, change it. But it's not a thing. Just inform people. We're here to share those good things, the good news. Sorry for stepping on your toes, dude. I just wanted to share the most important details. Good. I appreciate you doing that. And that becomes, people like you make good teachers. You grow to get a few students here and there, and if you don't already have them. So 1 and 3 and 4, and we're using, when we descend, we've been coming backwards down the pattern, but now we're going to use 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 every time. That kind of thing, all right? 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do, E and a. Oh, see, it's so hard to just kind of retrain or iron that wrinkle out of the shirt. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. I'm not really changing anything. Oh, got up to about 17th fret, and that's a reminder that I need to get that thumb out to play. And then we're up on position 19, and then we're descending. When I get back to position 17, I can start thinking about getting that thumb back behind the guitar neck. And I really feel like rushing this for some reason. I know we have more work to do. But the work at hand is the work that needs to be done. I have 10 more minutes to get up to 40 likes. And you can help me by doing that. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. The guy's name is Dale. He's still around. Alright, so you notice that I've got really low. I like to keep my action low, so with the strings bark at me a little bit when I ask a little more out of them than normal. But that's okay. I like that barky, distorted sound anyway. You know what I mean? It's okay with me. Alright, here's the moment where we're starting with the 3 notes per string. I'm going to just shift over to a rhythm tone and just kind of, you know, maybe we'll work on some kind of a something like this. Just kind of have that G note, that G major chord just swell. It's going to be there. And we're starting with the major scale on 3 notes per string. And we're starting with, this is a binder. If you want the binder to this, for this particular piece of music technology, the 3 note per string, and we're studying the G major scale. We're studying all of the available 3 note per string patterns. There is a binder at Jason Carey Guitar right here on this channel under the community tab, and you can just look for the 3 note per string challenge, and then there's the link is in the, you know, sort of in the description, in the post, but you have to click down and see more to get access to the link. But it's there, it's available for download. We worked all day yesterday into the evening and then into this morning at 4:30 getting that kind of ready for you. So I hope you enjoy it. If you download it, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And so we're starting with open, 2, 3, open, 2, 4, open, 2, 4, open, 2, 4, and then we head up to that first finger, stretch back to 1 because we're in the key of G, which has a C in it, right? We're not going to use that open B string because we have that B note here, which is part of the 3 note per string system. So if I use finger 3 here, I've decided that the fingers are all listed and each one of these voicings as well. The scale reference charts are available for you with suggested fingerings. There's a page that gives you some additional instructions that precedes it, and a thank you message at the end and all of that stuff. So, but if I use fingers 0, 2, 3, fingers 2 and 3, open 2, and finger 4, open 2, 4, open 2, 4. Then I can use finger 1 to stretch back to that C note where I need to be. And then I can use that D note and then E, and then F sharp, and then G. I want to be mindful also of where the root notes are. Have a great weekend, everybody. Until Monday, keep practicing. Absolutely, Kevin. Mr. Haas, we'll see you after the weekend for week 2 of Electric Week. All right, we'll see you then, Kevin. Thank you very much for checking in with us, and yeah, be well, man. Happy picking. And then position number 2 is 1, 2, 4, fingers 1, 2, 4, fingers 1, 3, 4, fingers 1, 3, 4, and then we're crawling up to position 3, and we're using 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4 as well. Everything that we ascend, we want to descend as well. Position 3, 1, stretch back to the finger 1, stretch 1, 2, 4, stretch 1, 2, 4, and then first finger comes up into the position that we're actually in. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, whoop, 1, 2, 4. Slipped into Lydian there for a second. 1, and then we slip up a position to position number 5, sorry. And then fingers 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 again. And then we'll descend. All of this is in the binder though in my YouTube, the community tab, okay? Fingers 1, position 5, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4 again, 1, 3, stretch 4 again. Now we're shifting up 2 positions to position 7, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Beautifully symmetrical here. But it's all G. All right, and then we're on position number 7. 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, stretch 4, and then 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4. Yeah, and then position 8, 1, stretch, 2, 4, fall into position, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and then position 10, shift, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, stretch 4. Position 10, we're almost finished today, gang. 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4. So, you know, all kinds of playgrounds here, you know, so 1, 3, stretch 4, and then finger 1 falls into place, 1, 2, 4, shift up one more time, 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 3, stretch 4. Then position 12, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4, and then 1, 3, stretch 4, and then come into position, 1, 2, 4. Position 14, and this is stuff that we're adding gradually to our morning routine. So position 14 is low crane mode. We got 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 3, 4, and then position 5, shift up 1 position, 1, 3, stretch 4, 1, 3, stretch 4. And you'll notice that's the same position as position 2. So let's take a look. of that to say that I really appreciate you being here. I've never been so excited to play the guitar in my, well, I guess I've been excited to play the guitar for a long time. And I'm thankful that you're here. If you have questions, you can always email me at jasoncareyguitar@gmail.com if you want. Jeff, thanks for being here, and thank you for the comment. You know, thanks for taking the time out of your day, and thanks for putting the seat time in. And again, I like to encourage, I thank you. The super chats and all of the support that you do, you know, to help this channel keep the lights on and stuff. This channel is going to be here regardless, right? So we're going to be here every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour. And then we're going to be here, it's weekdays, right? 5 days a week, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We began with the breath work, we began with the tuning work, we began with the chromatic work, and now we're starting to absorb some new things. That new thing, that the 3-note per string that we just did, it's on my, here on YouTube, at Jason Carey Guitar, and you can find it on the community tab. It's a 3-note per string challenge, and it's the G major scale all over the guitar. It's all written out for you, and there are some instructions. So go download the binder if you like, if you can. But this experience will remain free for 2025, and you know, not exactly a genius business plan on my part, but it is super important. Actually, I see that we're really close to 40 likes, so maybe in the next 2 minutes, can we get 4 more likes here? Could we do that? That would be great. It's really green. The guitar is really green, 𝗵𝗫. Yeah. It's got no nitrocellulose finish on it. It's only it's a stain with you know, an oil rub on it. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here and being a good part of what's going on. The scales I would look. Just keep showing up here, I would recommend, because we talk about, what we'll do is we talk about scales. If you're into scale work, if you're a beginner, you can search all through my channel right here on YouTube at Jason Carey Guitar. There are some beginner materials here that you can enjoy. And if you ask questions, we like to produce videos that will help you find your own particular path forward. So don't hesitate to do the asking, and that's very helpful for all of us. 4 more. Can we get 4 more likes? 4 more likes. Time is precious. Thanks for your time, Mr. Carey. Yeah, well, Robbie, I appreciate that. I feel the same way about your time. Like, the most important, the biggest investment you're making right now is your seat time. And so what really is going to happen from now, I'm waiting for 40 likes. I really want to get to that benchmark of 40 likes. We can do it. I mean, we're almost there. We can do it. You just have to click the like button. Smash that like button, please, if you don't mind. From the first session that we recorded, so we're recording all of these, and what I do is we re-release these as videos on demand under the live. There's a playlist, like morning guitar ritual playlist or whatever. So we're going back to the first one. We started a few weeks before the new year. So we're going back to the very first video, and then we're going to take the last video that we do of this morning live stream, the morning ritual for guitar growth. And that's going to be representative of about 260 to 300 hours of warm-up over the span of 2025. We're going to take a look at how much gain I made between the first video and the second video a year from then, a year apart. We're going to take a look at right hand technique. We're going to talk about fret hand technique, pick hand technique. Did I become a better person? Am I spiritually more centered? Can I approach, how long does it take me to get into the practice routine? Do I dilly-dally for, you know, several minutes, or do I jump right into it? So all of those things, there's a rubric that we're going to use to calculate progress, right? And it's going to be very interesting. And this is just something I wanted to do for my own person. But I thought in real time you can see, because if you're the guitar player, you know how much work it takes to get on stage and to get into the performance hall or to get on the road and tour. And people just look at you, family and friends might look at you and think, oh, he's or she's just talented. You're just talented. It comes to you so easily. Well, those of us who do the thing, we know that that's not, you know, that might not be an accurate perception, right? And so what we're doing is we're also helping to inform, maybe we're helping to inform the public, maybe we're helping to inspire other guitar players to just, hey, it's okay to set aside the time, to allocate the time necessary to accomplish the very lofty goals that you set for yourself. So it's okay to play the guitar. It's more than okay. It's world-changing. The guitar, since antiquity, has been an instrument of personal expression, societal change. It's been a very, very important instrument because of its low barrier for entry, because of its cost, its relatively low cost, its portability. So it's a really important thing to do. You look like you're freezing. I think it might be just the way that I'm seated. I think my posture's bad, and maybe it's the way that I'm seated. But it is like 0 degrees here today, and we do have to think about survival and keeping the wood stoves going and that kind of thing. The temp there is, this morning it was 0. Yesterday, a couple days ago, it was -10. Curious Kitten, I shall do that. Freebird. Yeah, I love the Freebird. Only allows 1 like. Oh, yeah, right. I'm going to get a 6-hour tat. Nice. What are you getting? What are you getting? Tap screen twice for best results. All right. Play Don't Fear the Reaper. Oh, yeah. Well, we've got 2 more likes to go, and we're almost there. Here, just turn off that looper pedal. So just in case you were wondering what was going on, this is what's going on. This is my favorite little rig. You know, I've had this for years since I, owned the shop and stuff, but it's just a really cool rig. I just can't get over the build quality, isn't it? And you don't need any tools to change your battery if you want to power it with 9-volt. It's a quarter and you're in and out, and you keep the gig rolling, It's super cool, super handy. Zodiac half chest piece with a collarbone scorpion and my birthday in Roman numerals. It's gonna hurt like hell. Yeah, I had a tat. I have a story about a tat. Well, congratulations on that process. It should be a meditative process, I would think. We went and we were playing in a group called 𝗪𝗿𝗄𝗏, and we were touring all over the place, and just a really sort of an experimental sort of rock band, and we've been playing together forever, and so we thought we were about college age, just after high school, college age, whatever. And we all thought we'd go and grab tattoos. And so one had the M, one had the B, one had the T. I had the M, and it's like and the M is in a burning tree. And it's really cool. There's a long story to it, but the design was the story. There always is a story behind the design, right? Punk Rocket, good morning. We're just getting it wrapped up. I'm running way over this morning, and so we all got our tattoos from this really brilliant artist, and you'll never guess what happened 2 weeks after we all got a band tattoo. Any guesses? Oh, I'd show you some skin, but it'd all have to come off, man. It's like up here, and I'm under 2 layers of wrapper right now. It's cool. I appreciate you asking. It's one of those things. My son has a couple, and they're very interesting. The stories are the best part. Show it. Let's see some skin, bro. I wish you a wonderful trip today, man. Enjoy that time. If you're not already subscribed, like, share, subscribe to my channel. That's a big help. We have 2 more likes to get to 40 likes, which is a new benchmark for this live stream. So if you could, if it's in your power to aid and assist us to get to 40 likes, we're definitely appreciative of that. We're so close, and I'm getting ready to just, I don't want to encourage you to like so I can shut you off, but if I'm going to play another Dream On. Wow. So something like that. Is that Dream On? I don't know if it's in that key. No, it's like an E minor. I'm going to just say it's E minor. Something like that. Is it Mr. Steven Tyler's voice? Wait, we made it to 40. Thank you very much. And then Thomas 𝗪𝗿𝗺-𝗨𝗪 gifted 1 Jason Gary guitar membership. Dude, thank you very much. That's wonderful, man. I really appreciate it. The guitar, we did it. Done. Roberto, thank you so much for making it. Here you go. Breakup, that's wonderful. Like, Inferno, yeah, that's it. We got it. 𝗪𝗏, just because I can. Keep it going, man. Love it. So if you're here and you're looking for personal growth, so I thought I'll just tell you the quick story. I know some of you have already heard it. The quick story of why I'm here is because 3 months before the new year, I decided I was going to just, it's a long story, but I've been involved in some national level stuff that was just kind of like making me a little ill. And so it took me going to some meeting, some boardroom meetings and yelling at everybody, and they, still getting phone calls. And finally, I just had to, say, no, thank you, I'm done. And, work on guitar. And so, I founded a conservatory of music. I founded a couple of, a music program on a hill. And then that grew out of that business. That building moved it to downtown to, 30, 40,000 square foot. I don't know, there must have been 30 or 40,000 square feet in the building. We had a huge music program. That kind of like started to split, but I kind of see the writing on the wall. Moved up to, got a 3-story brick building, and basically built this got this well-lighted, professional, commercial quality sort of community education program. Here's the trick. Community education that is not graded, people love it. If you can come to a place and you can learn your guitar, if you can, and you have to have really great gifted teachers though. So I worked for years to kind of build all of this stuff up, and to the tune of we were putting a building in downriver a little bit, a few miles down the river. Realized that location wasn't going to work after we tore the whole inside of the building out. 3-4-story brick building. Started putting the ash beams back in, the flooring back in, 3-4 decks. I mean, we're talking about a really big big job. And then so I ended up moving back to a city where my name resonates a little bit, and then we were able to do it. We were able to do the thing, and grew the music conservatory, a program. The local high school had lost its accreditation, if you can even imagine that. How do you lose an accreditation as a high school, dude? I mean, seriously. So the kids were all like, the community kids were like, going right down the spiral, and I thought, this is not right. Can't even be right. And everybody had let go. And so what I feel confident when I say like what we did, the work that we did for 2 years. I bootstrapped it, and worked with some community municipalities and yeah, Time and Tide, like the university systems, Department of Agriculture, Department of State departments, and we put together a plan where I literally rebuilt the downtown, brought some attention to the downtown, rebuilt that, but all around it was this hundreds of students were just coming, like young people were coming from 4 to like 84, I think was our range. And everybody wanted to come and learn the guitar or learn the saxophone or learn the piano or learn the mandolin or the fiddle. And it was all you had to do was show up for your half hour or an hour session or hour and a half session or whatever you wanted to do. And all you had to do was just do whatever you wanted to do. There was no, all of the teachers were trained to be good humans and accountable for their, their actions, I hope, and then encourage. That's all we can ever do is encourage people to develop themselves to their fullest potential, right? Isn't that how it works? So we did it. We grew larger than the local university music department, and now my statue's in front of that university, blah blah blah. But none of it matters. What matters is you have the capacity to do whatever it is you set your mind to. You make the choices. You do the suffering. You do the I'm going to call it, you do the thing. It's like that Pestalozzian principle where you do the thing. The thing always comes before the sign, right? So the thing, you have to play with blocks before you realize, oh, they're blocks, right? I can say the word blocks, but it doesn't mean anything unless I've played around with blocks. I know blocks are stackable. I know blocks have little shapes on them that are, they're red, they're letters, it's a B, it's an R. I know all of those things because of playtime. So part of what I'm doing here is very interesting to me. Is I set these goals for myself, and I thought I'm going to be here anyway because of my lofty goals. I have a 12-hour daily plan that I'm going to that I'm in the process of executing throughout 2025, and I want to go win this program over here. Some national flat picking competition or whatever, I don't talk about it much because I don't want to generate competition for myself. But I want to do that, and to do that I have to be practicing every morning. And I thought, if I want to do something good on the guitar, if I want to better myself, if I want to better my family, I want to better the community I live in and serve and that built me, and then the community at large, and then the world at large, then I have to put the work into myself, because charity starts at home. Charity starts at home. Super important thing to remember and keep reminding yourself of. Charity starts at home. It does. And so I thought, if I'm going to be here anyway, practicing on the guitar in a focused manner, then I thought maybe other people would want to hear the same thing. Maybe other people actually want to do the same thing. So we're creating a culture where we can actually practice the guitar and evolve together as a herd, right? So that's what's going on, and I appreciate you being here. Any support that you give, if you become a member of the channel, we have additional live streams in the evenings and different times of day where we do live question and answer, and we do like live transcription. We talk about how to transcribe. We talk about ear training with the guitar and how to overcome those problems and get advancing our own selves to our fullest, and then in talking with you, then I learn too, right? So it just works. So that's kind of where I'm at, and it's not to get too esoteric, but that's sort of what I'm doing, and that's why I'm here, and that's why this will remain free this whole year, because I'm going to be here doing it anyway. So yeah, that's what's going on. But all right, so pretty sure you need a kill switch for it. Play through the Fire and Flames. Oh, wow. I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you again, Thomas Nickelborg. Fire and Flames, that's all right. So I don't know. If you're setting your own goals and you want to share your own goals, we're looking at reaching goals, right? And I have a few millionaire friends. One of, you know, he's a gazillion or whatever, but started a recycling program in New England or whatever. And he said, you know, Jason, the only people that fail in business, the only time you fail in business or in your venture or whatever you want to do, whatever it is you want to do, if you think too small, you typically it tends to sort of like fail. So be sure to think big, and be sure to, once you set it in motion, we're going to have days where we feel like, man, you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, you're like, I'm not a guitar player. What am I even doing this for? It's like, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. And then, but you are. And it's those things that we need to continually remind ourselves. It's okay to play the guitar. It's okay to allocate the time to the guitar, because it is a profession. It is a profession, right? And it's a valued profession. And then sometimes the value comes in the training of the value. Do you know what I mean, to the public? But the public is intended to be typically like patrons of the arts and sciences. And we all know we need arts and sciences in the day-to-day. And that's, so it's okay to play the guitar, and that's where I'm at. But anyway, yeah, I'm rumbling off here, and I'm definitely keeping you way over, and I gotta let you guys roll, so for sure. Let's just get through the rest of these comments, though, if you don't mind. I'm just gonna peel through these. Fire and Flames, keep talking about that. Let's keep setting those goals. I believe it's a Strat type. The model is a guitar. It is. Bomb deft. Oh, bomb deft recon. So we've got two strap buttons here, you know, so I can set the guitar down on the floor and it will lay flat, put the strings down toward my amplifier, and the guitar rests and stays. If this guitar has one strap button on it, and if I put that on the floor, guess what happens? I never put it on the floor. You're good at guitar, bro. Roberto, I like your live. I appreciate you. Be here again. Just keep coming, keep showing up, and then we're all going to like this live. At 2025, we're at the end of this year, we're all going to have something to celebrate. Okay, we're all going to have to work together and figure out how we're going to celebrate this. But it's growing. It gets better every day, every week. So we are going to have to figure out how to create a celebration. And I've already been thinking about something that might work for everybody. So if anyone has ideas, feel free to, you know, hit me up at jasoncareyguitar@gmail.com. And thank you for the compliment, Roberto. Thomas, well, I can relate, not the same, but I'm a drummer myself, and I love to see people picking up on an instrument. I just have an awesome time. I'm a drug addict in recovery, and drums saved me. Well, amen, brother. Amen, brother. Yeah. Yeah, it saves a lot of people. Saves a lot of us, doesn't it? Yep. Yep. Well, that's sad. I feel you, man. Do what you got to do, man. Let's see. Thomas, congratulations on making good choices. That's a choice that we make every minute of the day. That's a continual choice, right? And I think James Taylor, Mr. Taylor, did the same thing. You know, he immersed himself in sports or rowing or in guitar writing, songwriting, and just in his profession, and just he took that thing that he wanted to do 110%, and he took that and turned that energy into something that was building him up and building the world around him. And it's not to say that we don't have, you know, hard times, because even on a perfect day, life will still bring grown people to our knees. It will. But let's see. Thomas, congratulations on making good choices. Thanks. No fear of that from me. 100% hear you, man. You do you, and it's going to work. Thanks for telling the story. I follow your channel, so I'll be around for sure. Yeah, definitely be around. Yes, and thank you for the follow. And That's what I want to hear, brother. Believe in ourselves. We don't hear it as much as we could. You know what I mean? I think what we tend to hear it, you know, when after we needed to really hear it. You know what I mean? I have a friend who wrote a song called "Say Love," and you've got to check this song out. It's called. I'll see if I can find it, and it's called "Say Love." It's so simple, but it's just a beautiful tune. Yes, that's what I want to hear, brother. Believe in yourself, and left hand, right hand sync is driving me crazy. Weak right hand, any tips? Yeah, Joe, good. So we can have a graduation. Yes, wonderful idea. Wonderful idea. Love it. So weak right hand. So I think I'm going to talk in terms of my right hand is a picking hand. My left hand is a fretting hand. Some of us here in this live chat, we have, we're lefties. So I'm just going to use picking hand and fretting hand, and that will distinguish, it'll be easy for me to understand which hand exactly you're talking about. But left and right hand sync is really important. So that's part of what we're doing here for this ritual. We're doing exercises like this every morning. We come to this live stream. This live stream happens 5 days a week at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are available and you can afford, about an hour worth of seat time, it's free. And we'll walk through all of this stuff together to help those two hands. One hand is speaking two, the other hand is speaking an indefinite number. And then so we've got all of these different things doing. We're basically trying to bring these two different actions together to do the one language. So yes, it can be a complicated thing to nurture, but it's nurturable, and it's worth the nurturing. So I would just recommend for now to just show up if you can. If you can show up, that would be great. We'd love to see you back again, Joe. We can have a graduation. I like the graduation. Amen, brother. We do recover. Yes, we do. Thomas Muckelberg, 100%. Slow process, wearing my metronome out. Slow progress. Thanks for the help. Or help. I'll be here. Yeah, good. Yeah. Metronome is at 60 beats per minute, at least for the warm-up period. And then, over the span, if you work more during the day, you are free to, I would encourage you to sort of ramp it up a little bit incrementally and then just kind of build speed. But only go as fast as I can control it. If I'm coming around that corner, that off-ramp, and I feel the wheels start to peel out sideways while I'm turning it, I probably can slow it down a little bit if I start to feel the car losing the grip. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to keep it under control, keep all my fingers and my techniques safe. So anyway, thank you very much for being here today. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart when I say I never thought that anyone would follow this. I actually just wanted to just start doing this. Never in a million years thought, there would be any interest in it. I had a feeling that there were other people out there who wanted a guitar outlet for self-improvement and self-discipline and, gaining some mad techniques and being able to measure that over the span of a year. So I'm happy. I'm very happy to be part of this program, this process. And so I'll see you after the weekend. Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be here, and I will see you at that time. And until we meet again, I wish you happy